Welcome to the video lecture series of Digital Image Processing. Today's lecture is about image enhancement in spatial domain, and this is the second part of this topic. First part I have covered in the previous lecture, where I have told you what is the requirement of image enhancement in time domain, how many ways are there. So I have already told you that there are three types via which image enhancement can be done. In today's lecture, you are going to study about the piecewise linear transforms which can be applied on a given image so that the transformed image can be a better one from which image analysis can be done. So, in previous lecture, these two types of transformations I have already covered, linear point transformation and non-linear point transformation. So let us begin with piecewise linear transform in today's lecture.
Let us discuss about piecewise linear functions. Till now, you have studied various types of functions, though those functions are primitive in nature. Primitive in nature. Because manipulation of contrast and brightness is a difficult subjective process. So piecewise linear functions are used to manipulate the contrast of image. This function is used to manipulate the contrast of image. This is how it can be applied. Sometimes stretching the contrast to the fullest possible value to achieve best visualization of image is not possible. The main advantage of piecewise linear function is they use simple functions to represent complex functions. Simple functions is being used, and accordingly intensity transformation can be done. And disadvantage is they require many input parameters. For image. So, just to summarize it, whatever the functions we have studied, those were primitive in nature. Piecewise linear transform is used to manipulate the contrast of image. Advantage is it uses simple function to represent complex functions, and the disadvantage is it requires too many input parameters. If gray level of input image is represented by small r, and S is the transformed function. So let us start how to represent the piecewise linear functions mathematically and how it can be applied to the other applications. There are three types of piecewise linear function. One is contrast stretching, other is gray level slicing, and third is bit plane slicing. So in today's lecture we shall be talking about all these three types of piecewise linear function. So let us start with the contrast stretching and its variants. First is contrast stretching and its variants. You know what is contrast? Contrast means increasing the darker portion to the darker and lighter to the lighter. This is what the contrast means. Darker, more dark, and lighter, more light. This is what the meaning of contrast stretching. So here, how to represent it mathematically? For that, let us take a simple image which can be represented into a 2D form where R is the input gray level and S is the output level, and let us represent here. We have taken these 2 points A and B. If the coordinate of A is R1, S1 and the coordinate of B is R2, S2. On x-axis we have taken input gray level represented by R. Let us mark the boundaries. Starting from 0 to L-1, this would be total number of gray levels. 0, L/2 for the 8-bit image. L will be 256. L-1, this is 3L/4. L/2, this is L/4, and on y-axis we have taken the variation of S, which is the transformed one. So this we have drawn to represent contrast stretching. This is a form of transformation function. See, from this particular diagram, you can see that if R1 is equal to S1 and R2 is equal to S2. R1, S1 and R2, S2 means both are the same locations. Then transformation is a linear function. Linear function means it produces no change in gray levels. No change in gray levels. See, you can see here from this particular point to this point, the overall line is being drawn into 3 sections. 1, 2 and 3. Means just a connection of 3 pieces. Portion 1, portion 2, portion 3, and to elaborate it further, we have taken 2 points A and B where the coordinates are R1, S1 and R2, S2. And depending upon the relation with R1, S1, R2, S2, you can explain it further. Second case, if R1 is equal to R2 and S1 is 0, S2 is L-1. Here transformation become a thresholding function. Thresholding function which creates a binary image. This creates binary image. Now what about the intermediate values of R1S1 and R2S2? Intermediate values of R1, S1 and R2, S2. They produces various degrees of spread in gray level of output image. In general, R1 is less than R2 and it has been shown in diagram as well. S1 is less than S2. And these terms may be equal as well. So here it is assumed that function is single valued and monotonically increasing. Means function is single valued and monotonically increasing. Single valued and monotonically increasing means R1, R2 obviously as if I have shown you in the diagram as well. See, the value of R1 is less than R2, the value of S1 is less than S2. So it is increasing in nature. Single valued and monotonically increasing. The formulation of contrast stretching can be given as S is the output, L into R, M into R minus A plus V, N into R minus B plus W. This is for when R is in between 0 to A. Next case is when R is in between A to B, and the third case is when R is in between B to L minus 1. Here L, M, N, these are slopes, and the value of L and N will be less than 1 while M will be greater than 1. So mathematically it is being written into this form depending upon the variation of R, A and B. Moving forward, you know that many variants of contrast stretching are available. Many variants are available. Some of these are range normalization, clipping, binarization, it is also known as thresholding, posturization, it is also known as multiple thresholding. So these are the many possible variants of contrast stretching. Let us study some of them. First is range normalization. Range normalization. Range normalization is a special form of contrast stretching which is used to enhance image quality, by altering range of gray level present in the image. Here the important factor is altering range of gray level present. This is the major factor. How it is being done? If gray level input range if image range which is gray level is being given from A to B, then applying this process, the contrast range will be changed to the C to D. This is what the range normalization process. For a given image, in present gray levels are A to B is the minimum gray level component, B is the maximum one, and by applying range normalization, contrast range is being increased and A is being transformed to C and B is being transformed to D. But how this overall process can be done? Let us study this process. What is this algorithm? The steps are: first, subtract A from each gray level. So, range becomes 0 to B minus A. Then, in second step, multiply the result by D minus C upon B minus A. Now, range becomes 0 to D minus C. Next step is add C to the result obtained in previous case. Now range becomes C to D. So this transformation can be described as this transformation can be described as in one step g of x comma y, this is what? D minus c upon b minus a into f of xy minus a plus c. So in one step it can be represented in this form, and which can be directly applied for the image transformation. So this is all about the range normalization. Means input range was given from A to B, which was transformed into D to C. Next function is clipping or thresholding. Clipping or thresholding. What is this? Clipping and thresholding. Low contrast images can be enhanced by simply cutting off very light and very dark areas. So clipping is a special type of stretching where images is supposed to be in the range of 0 to L. It means why we are using it? To enhancing image by cutting only very light and very dark areas. So the gray scaling function can be written as G is what? 0 if f of x comma y varies from 0 to t naught. If components of gray level is in between T0 and T1, it would be written as 255 upon T1 minus T0, and it is written as L if the intensity components is greater than or equal to T1. So in this case, threshold T0 and T1 are used to determine the histogram of given image. And here the transformation can be written as transformation can be written as transformed image would be g of xy. This is what? 0 or 1. 0 if f of xy is less than or equal to t, otherwise it would be 1. So this is how the clipping function or thresholding function can be applied. Here we have taken only two thresholds, T0 and T1, and accordingly the grayscaling function we can determine. The next type of thresholding, which is multiple thresholding, it means number of threshold levels can be increased as per the requirement of the image. Just in the previous case, two threshold levels have been taken, T0 and T1, but it can be increased. So it can be said that this is the extension of thresholding. Here multiple thresholds are using. So what would be G? It can be written as G1 if input image Fi is in between 0 to T1. If it is in between T1 to T2, it can be written as G2. Accordingly, can be written as Gn if input image is varies in between n-1 to the higher level, which is 255. So this is how the thresholding function can be increased, number of threshold level can be increased, and it is said as that it is the extension of the thresholding. So this is all about the three possible cases for the given image, how to apply it, how to determine the multiple levels, and can be produced a enhanced image. Next is the case of gray level slicing. As I have told you that there are three types of cases. First you have already studied. Now let us begin with gray level slicing. What is gray level slicing? See, sometimes there is a requirement to highlight a specific range of gray values. Highlight a specific range of gray values, like enhancing flaws in X-ray or a CT scan. So accordingly, the type of application requirement gray level slicing can be done. If you have your own image, black and white in nature, and you want to highlight only the area where gray level ranges from 100 to 150, that can also be highlighted, and the type of function is known as gray level slicing. There are two approaches. First is in first approach, it display a high value for all gray levels in the range of interest. Means display high value for all gray levels in the range of interest, and low level for remaining one. Means high value for interested regions and low level in the remaining areas. So there are two possibilities, means slicing without background and slicing with the background. Let us draw. See, at input you have taken the variation of gray levels for input image, which is represented by R, and at y-axis transform functions represented by S, and L is the total number of possible gray values. Let this variation is being represented into this form, where TR is the transform functions. Here 2 points A and B have been mentioned where there is a change in the levels of contrast. So mathematically you can write it as L-1 if R is in between A to B and 0. Otherwise, see, in between A to B there is an area of your interest which you want to highlight. So by keeping this value towards the higher side and mentioning the lower regions as a 0. So mathematically it is being represented into this form. In the required area of our interest, this would be L-1, otherwise it is 0. This method is known as gray level slicing without background. This method is known as gray level slicing without background. Second approach is based on transformation, brightness, the desired range of gray level. Second method is based on transformation, means, and it preserves the background and gray level of the image. It preserves background also. In this case, the formulation can be S is what? L-1 if R is in between A to B of the desired range and it is being written as R otherwise. Written as R otherwise means original content as it is. So here what we are doing, in keeping intact the background information, just there is a transformation in the required area. So in the required area, all those components intensity level have been pulled to the high. So this is known as gray level slicing with background. Means gray level slicing with background. Diagrammatically, how to represent it? See, again on x-axis we have taken the intensity level variation denoted as R. 0 to L minus 1. L minus 1 is the maximum gray level. On the y-axis, the transformed functions. Again, its range from 0 to L minus 1. If there is a variation from a point A to B, so this is what the transformed one. Here you can say that transformation is being done in between A to B while keeping all the values intact, same as the given one R. So this is known as gray level slicing with background. So there are two possible ways of slicing, without background and with background. Now study the third type of piecewise linear transform, which is the bit plane slicing. So till now you have studied two variants. One is the contrast stretching and other is the gray level slicing. Third is bit plane slicing. What is bit plane slicing? It is possible to transform gray level image into a sequence of binary image, but transforming the whole image is a very tedious task. So bit plane means just transferring and slicing bit by bit. Means MSB can be sliced out, LSB can be sliced out. Just like if you take a big piece of bread and divide it into slices, you start from one end goes to the second one. So in this case also, slicing of an image can be done starting from LSB to the MSB, and each and every bit is representing a plane. So contribution made by each bit to gray image need to be understood. This is what the factor is. You know that any image can be defined as, say, 256 into 256 into 8. Here 256 and 256 is the number of pixels present in the image, and 8 is the number of bits required to represent each pixel. 8 bit simply means 256 gray levels. 8 bit means 256 gray levels. You know that where black is represented by 0, 8 bit, all the 8 bits in the will be 0, while white is represented by 1. So in this case all the 8 bits will be 1, and in between these two levels there would be total 254 gray levels, which will be represented by the combination of 0 and 1. So in this process, let us consider the LSB value of each pixel and plot the image. And this plotting is being done by using LSBs. And this process continues doing this for each bit till MSB. So process is being started from LSB goes up to MSB. How to represent it in diagrammatically form? See, each and every layer is being represented, and this process goes on depending upon the bits. If we say that this is bit plane 0, means this is for LSB, and if we say that this is bit plane 7, means for MSB. In between bit plane 0 to 7 means there would be total 8 planes, and this is what? 1 8-bit or byte. So this is the bit plane representation of an in 8-bit image.